Okay, so we're going to continue a little bit about drills and drill bits and whatnot. And one thing I failed to show you was a drill bit that has a clutch. And that clutch is, you have a little key like this, and it turns it and tightens it. This is much stronger and much sturdier than the drill bits that um, we used on the regular hand clutch, but it's much less handy because generally you lose these very quickly, and you don't want to do that, and and it takes more time, but it is a more secure way of tightening your drill bit. Now, on this side of the machine, I'll roll it around so you can see it, is the handle that pushes the drill down. Now, if you have this level, both directions, then this will be very straightly or completely perpendicular to your workpiece here. You notice you have a little safety switch there. And also you have this item that can raise or lower this. Right back here is a little thing that can raise or lower or raise your bed. And in this there's a little hole so you don't drill into it. You can get a plate that fits on here and give you something to drill into, and that's fine. I don't particularly have one on this. Now I want to show you something else about this, and that is you saw me roll this back and forth, and that's because I have a very, very small shop, only 10 by 11, and I'm able to get my table that I was working on, and that's on rollers, my table saw, and my miter saw, radial miter saw, and a few other items in there very easily because they're all on rollers, and that's a handy thing to do, a handy thing to have. So let's just see how this looks as we drill down into this piece of wood. Okay. So you turn it on here, and you want to hold your piece tightly, usually with a clamp, but we're going to do it like this for now. And you just got a very smooth operation. See how easy that was with a drill press. One of the things you could do if you wanted to hold your piece in place, oops, my son's getting wild here, is to take a piece of plain old duct tape, and you can make something that will hold something in place by simply taping it together like that, putting it down, and putting your workpiece on it. And that is very tight and secure. So if we do it again, I can steady it, but I don't have to hold it. If you have time to use a drill press, and these aren't very expensive. There we pull it from that, pull the back off of it, and you can see the holes that I drilled. This was the one I did with the regular hand drill. Now, these are not that expensive, especially at if you buy them at Harbor Freight or Menards or other places. They have a less expensive type of tool, and as you see, I bolted it to my table there. Now, just also, you can double up. I don't know if you can see my drawers here, but if you would like some dimensions or a diagram, I'd be glad to show you that. And if you turn this all the way around, you can see that I included also a sanding unit, and this is again a very inexpensive sander, but it does the job. Okay, there's one other thing you can do with a drill press that's kind of cool. If you're wanting to sand a board, say the inside of this curve, with your sander, you can actually put one of these drum bits on it that has, now these sanding papers are removable and replaceable, so you don't have to think about replacing the whole drum. You actually undo that little nut there, and it will let you put a new sandpaper on. But let's see what we can do with this right here. So you can see we can smooth the inside of that with the sander, which was fairly rough cut, but as you can see, we can do that. And you can see that the finish is smooth and nice on that inside corner. One more thing about drills is that you can have what they call a plug cutter. Now, if you drill a hole in a piece of wood and would like to fill it with something, another piece of wood is handy, and so you have this thing called a plug cutter. And you can cut various sizes into a piece of wood. So let's first start with drilling a hole that we want to fill. So if we were working on this piece of wood and wanted to drill a hole in it, we would first put our drill bit of a certain size. Now you can buy commercially made what do you call it? Dowels. You can, I'm getting old, so you have to kind of put up with that a little bit. You can buy commercially made dowels that are of various sizes. But with this, you can put the same wood in the same type of hole and match actually even the grain of it. So here we go we're going to drill a hole first. That should be deep enough. And so you see we got a hole, and that's a 1/4 inch hole. Turn it off and remove our bit. And go to a 1/4 inch plug cutter, which is right here. Tighten it up and raise our bed up to about that height. Okay. And so we want to match this piece of wood. So we'll turn on our bit, and it will cut a plug of a 1/4 inch size. Now, you can see the hole and you can see the plug. What we'll do is take a screwdriver or something sharp and break off that plug. We broke off the plug, and there is the plug, there's the hole. Now, of course, these would be two different pieces of wood, or this would be a scrap. So if you wanted to match that, you could put glue in this hole and then line up your grain so that it fits, and when you put it in, it would perfectly match the hole that you have. I have it a little bit off, but you could match it up better. Take it and match it up better. Anyhow, there you have a plug hole and a plug cutter.